So what was your favorite brand to work for?
Favorite brand?
Or were they all kind of just like the same for you?
You know, work is work, I feel at some point, you know, like there's lots of products that I liked along the way. Like I worked for Nerf. We did Nerf across Canada. That was cool.
Oh,
like,
imagine, right? All the
Nerf guns and
yeah.
the people that see the products like them. I liked working for Nutella, not because I liked Nutella, but because people love Nutella.
Yeah.
Like everywhere I went, people were happy, you know? So
And it's a lot easier to deal with people when they're happy, right?
yeah, like, you know, like everything just kind of ended with some kind of positive energy because I was the guy with kilos of Nutella, you know? So every time I got into a jam, I'm like, hey, you know, will 10 kilos of Nutella cure it? You know? Like,
yeah, all of a sudden you're like the man of the hour,
What
right?
can we do?
Everyone wants to
you
talk
know?
to you.
And at first, like I said, I'm not really a big Nutella guy. I don't really eat like the chocolate spread thing, but yeah, people are in love with the stuff, right? Like,
that was like the easiest thing, I guess, or like you had a lot of you had a good time working under the
yeah, I just
Nutella
thought that
brand.
people were just, you know, the energy is like family energy, you know, it's nice. Obviously the product is not healthy,
yeah,
right? So it's
but a
like,
lot of things are.
a lot of kids are running up to you. They're like, we eat Nutella every day. I'm like, fuck.
You feel bad about it,
right?
You're like, oh no,
here
what
I
am I
am.
doing?
Here I am.
What am I
promoting.
selling to these people, the public?
Here I am promoting this product, you know, every
It was,
day.
like deadly.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they're cutting down like whole forests.
Yeah,
you know,
all the palm trees.
to make all the palm oil, right?
Yeah.
Like every day I got
All
like
those
some activist at my
orangutans.
truck, like, you guys
Oh,
are
really?
destroying the forest. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Like the people, like they're like, oh, you
Yeah.
killed like by
You know, like we had pamphlets
the
like,
orangutans and
you know,
all
we
that.
use
Yeah.
reusable forests for our palm oil.
Did you ever be like, just try this? And
You're
like,
ruining the ecosystem,
you know, yeah, like
endangering all the animals.
what can you do, right? Like,
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like these people are protesting the wrong people, right? It's like they're coming up to the wrong people, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's like asking McDonald's to change the whole fast food industry, right? Like it's just impractical. You know, of course they can use better salt. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But like
all
you
the
know,
seed
don't-
oil people. Are like,
what about
they can
Harvey's?
fry it.
You know, what about Burger? Everyone is on the side trying to do their little thing, and you know, you can't really mitigate all the issues, and that's kind of the goal,
that's true.
right? It's kind of goal is to put so many things out there that when you change one thing, it doesn't affect that much, right? So I find American politics so fascinating because, you know, the Democrats will pass something in like New York, then like the Republicans will be in like 8 states over here, you know, just passing random stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of mitigates this over here, right? And you know,
It's
they
like two different
know
worlds.
if you want to change this over here, you have to like go to these other 8 places, you know, where it's unlikely, right? So it's a seesaw battle. And
Well, that's why like every 2 years when the whole like budgetary issue comes up, right? All of a sudden it's like, oh man, American government shuts down or shutdown looming is because of precisely what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's like the two sides trying to
it's,
do
you
their
know,
different things, but
I
it's
feel
not
like-
quite meshing.
it's with a lot of things, right? So I think if you look at a lot of things from a larger scale, it's easier to like find your place in it, right? You know, when you look at things from a smaller scale, you feel lost almost. There's so much going on.
Yeah, it's
The world is so vast, right? And there's so many things going on with it, whether it become financial markets, whether it become personal lives, whether it become everything, right? There's so many things you're tackling every day, you know? So when you think of it from a micro scale, you're like, everything is so big and it's intimidating. But when you think of it as a huge place and I'm just this guy doing my thing, trying to find my, you know, path, it becomes a lot easier, I feel, you know? Like you're just doing your thing. Like, okay.
You forget about the rest of
There's
the
too
world.
much, you know, like obviously politics is happening, obviously, you know, crypto's happening, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, the markets are changing, obviously. You know, AI is coming. Everything
The world is just changing.
Yeah, everything is shifting. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And it's not going to stop, you know. So, like I said, all you can do is find yourself, your path, and keep pursuing it, you know, and don't be afraid to go whatever direction you feel you're comfortable going. Because, you know, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I couldn't get the job done at the end. Everything is teachable. I feel like you can teach most people 90% of things, whether they become, you know, the great at it, probably not.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, there's in every skill there's gonna be the best of.
It's always worth a try too. See if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't,
You have to, you know, give yourself, you know, at least a try.
Yeah.
You know, you go when you're in school and you suck at like basketball, you don't just stop playing all sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try to find your niche, right?
Find
You're
whatever
like,
works for
man,
you.
yeah, I got-
Yeah,
Find
it's
your
like
sport,
to your
yeah.
point earlier, you don't necessarily just focus on the grant, the whole thing, right? You try
Yeah.
to narrow things down. Like if you're concerned about the world because you're watching news and you're being bombarded with all this information, maybe it's just good to narrow down your life. and,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, like
just
you know,
focus on yourself
yeah,
rather than the exterior, right?
it's true. You know, like you're in wrestling, and you know, when I was in school, I did like a lot of karate, like you know,
Yeah.
Martial arts?
boxing. Yeah.
Nice.
And did that help just like streamline your life a little bit?
I just feel like there's a lot of time to be distracted,
Mhm.
so you kind of have to continue to grow yourself in other ways.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like it's so easy to
Is
just
it
go
like
home and do nothing.
multidisciplinary, I guess? Like you have multiple things that you're trying to
It
Trying to
takes a long time to become a master at anything,
for
Yeah.
sure.
but your life is long, you know. So while you're on the pursuit of whatever you're on the pursuit of, you can still learn 2 or 3 smaller skills along the way
Yeah.
that you enjoy. You know, one day we pray that we retire one day, and you know we
Yeah,
can
fingers
use these
crossed.
skills to you know, maybe be a side hobby. Like no one wants to sit at home all day.
No.
Maybe you learned how to do something along the way. Maybe you could be, you know, a squash coach, or maybe
Yeah.
you could be, you know, a piano teacher or a wrestling coach or whatever on the side.
Yeah.
Help the people that are coming up. But you know, that's something it's a discipline that you learn along the way, and you can also, it's a community that you're also able to be a part of. That's not your traditional community, not your like a friend circle. Like
Yeah, family,
Yeah,
culture,
like-
and stuff.
Or
It's
like I was
different.
gonna say, when you get older and then you go to like a nursing home and your whole environment is just the nursing home. All
Yeah.
your friends are in the nursing home. Like all the social contact is in this one environment.
yeah,
When you would rather than like the opposite path when you're older, but you're still active.
yeah. Well, you want to be,
Yeah.
you still want to be active, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't really control your health.
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
challenging, you know.
Yeah,
Who
there's
knows?
certain things you could do, I guess, to mitigate aging and the effects that happen, but it's hard, right? Especially with
It's
all
a,
the
it's
diet.
a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to do
Self-managing
like,
diet.
yeah, there's all this self-health and benefit things you can do for yourself, reading every day, and you know, it becomes almost a burden on you when you don't practice it in small doses.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it's good to just take things on the side and keep learning and keep reading, and you know, if you're a hobbyist, do that.
Yeah.
Because in the end, you know, what brings you joy may not bring the other person joy.
Yeah. Just do what you want.
So you know, when you have to deal with one with yourself, you can't be doing what this other guy is doing for fun.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's
Or
like
for
with,
calm,
Yeah,
or-
with wrestling, that's what's been like a big thing for me is that like I'm like right now I feel like my main journey is trying to finish my teaching degree.
Absolutely.
And it's like all the classes, all the like the course load or like the coursework and all the community placements and all these different sort of things I got to do. It makes me feel like I'm being bombarded. But with the wrestling, it allows me to step aside, take a breather, understand this is not my whole life. I have other things that I could do to not only just like compartmentalize, but also focus and learn and adapt in.
Absolutely. No, it's good. You need to have something you're doing that's not your core focus,
Yeah.
because you need to step out of whatever it is, whether your family or you know, gotta step away and say, hey guys, I don't know what the fuck's going on in the world,
Yeah.
you know, but I need this 1 hour to go
Yeah.
do my Zumba class or whatever it is.
Exactly.
right?
You need people of all different backgrounds, right?
You know,
And
like
that
I need
way
to.
it's like
I need to go see Sabrina this week or whatever my teacher's name is.
Yeah.
You know, I need that energy, right? You know, and we all get it from different places. I found over time that's, you know, you can't judge anybody for what they do when they're not, you know, around you or at work or whatever, because everybody gets their energy from somewhere else. It's fascinating.
I agree.
Yeah, you're talking about different places, and in your line of work, you've gotten the chance to travel all over the country.
Yeah.
What is your just thoughts on like Canada as a whole? Because it's a big country and it's
Yeah.
really divided based off geography. What would you say are like some interesting parts of Canadian culture based off of different geographical divides?
Canada is interesting. It's obviously there's, you know, from Newfoundland all the way to Vancouver, we have, you know, the Trans-Canada Highway all over, you know.
Yeah.
If you
You can get
understand about the history, you know, there's a lot of Asian culture in Vancouver because
Yeah.
they built the railroad,
railroads,
and you know, there's a lot of history. So, you know, as you cross Canada, you realize it's a beautiful country. It's obviously a big country,
Yeah.
you know, so flying from here to Vancouver is like 5 hours.
Yeah.
I think so. But I think, you know, now is a great time to see Canada. You know, the international travel is getting better.
Oh yeah.
Traveling
more
within
accessible.
Canada is becoming way more accessible. This is something that was almost impossible when I was 20.
Oh, I'd imagine
you know,
because
like-
budget airlines probably weren't around as much.
They
right?
didn't exist,
Yeah.
you know. Like I had friends in Winnipeg. I used to visit them. It's like $500 to go and come back. You know,
Yeah.
back then you could go to Cuba for $600 for the week, all inclusive.
Yeah.
Ham sandwiches, but whatever.
Yeah, the
Whatever.
Cubanos, yeah.
I'll take it. You know. But now you know there's a lot of accessible ways to fly around Canada. So I think if you have the opportunity to network in Canada,
Mhm.
then you
Yeah.
should. You know, because people here are willing to work with people that are here. The problem is just getting there.
Yeah.
It was
It's really
like,
bad,
yeah,
yeah.
like $500 to
now-
Calgary. Now it's like $100. Like,
Yeah. Vancouver 400 round trip, right?
yeah. And it's not just people, not just getting there.
Mhm.
Now they can get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they could come to the biggest city in the country, really.
Well, that's kind of why it's become so hard to do things in Toronto, right?
Yeah, because now it's accessible
It's
for everyone.
accessible. It's
It
like-
creates competition.
Oh
type
yeah,
thing.
a weekend to see a Raptors game, and I'm from Calgary. You know, it used to cost $3,000. Now it's
Yeah.
gonna cost 1,800. You know,
Yeah,
that
now all of a
changes the
sudden-
game. You know,
Yeah,
and
you want to go to a Raptors game, now you got to compete with people from all over the country
from
to
everywhere.
get their seats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we have one national team and
Mhm.
baseball and you know concerts and all kinds of things
Yeah.
where it's not just other provinces. You know, you're talking about Ontario. You know,
Yeah.
you got all the external cities that people are coming from that want to experience these things who don't do what we do, which might be spend every Saturday doing Toronto stuff.
Yeah.
Right? They're from Sudbury.
Yeah.
Oh, and they'd appreciate
They
it a
go
lot
out
more,
3
right?
times. You know, they
Yeah.
go out 3 times in the winter and 4 times in the summer.
Well,
right?
we've been
You
to
know?
Sudbury, right?
I've been to
It's like-
Sudbury, you know. But you know, so now when they want to do something, they look at the city like that's an option
Yeah.
that they never really had before.
It makes
so-
perfect sense though.
So it's I think in Canada there is a lot of diversity. Like the East Coast is super nice. I
Yeah.
was super surprised at how nice everyone was over there. But it's small town.
Yeah.
They don't even know what it's like to be living in Toronto,
Yeah.
really, right?
Like, where were you in the East Coast? Like Halifax or?
Halifax, Scotia.
Mhm. And even then, those cities just don't compare to the scale of
Sorry,
Toronto,
nothing
I
like
guess.
that.
No. It's small town stuff, you
Mhm.
know, like imagine like Bradford or something. Just name a small town
Yeah.
outside of the city,
in
and
the
that's
province, yeah.
a big city in lots of other, you know, provinces,
Mm-hmm.
True.
right? So, you know, you go to Hamilton, you're like, oh man, this place is so small, and it's probably like the 8th biggest city in Canada, right? Like, so,
Exactly.
so you have to kind of look at it from, you know, they don't even know what your struggle is here.
Mhm.
They love it here. They hear about here.
Yeah.
They don't know what your
They
struggle
don't know how
is here.
competitive it is.
You know, they don't
for
know
everything.
how hard you have to work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just from me going to work. It's just like getting anything done. Traffic. You know.
Yeah, everything's competitive. Like, entertainment is competitive.
You know,
Like, you
getting-
want to like go to a show, you got to book it out months in advance if you can, right? You got to like a lot of thinking goes involved, logistics. if
yeah,
you
no,
will.
it's you know, it's a different world here. You know, you have to look at your budget. Like, okay, I only got 4 concerts I can go to of the 50 that are gonna happen this summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which ones do you do?
You know,
right?
which ones? Oh, and there's one in Montreal. Maybe I'll go there.
Yeah.
Too, you know, so you have all these options.
It's true.
You know, I remember when I was in St. Catharines, I went to every hip hop concert there was because there
Same
wasn't that many.
Yeah,
Can't
I was
imagine
like,
that.
yeah,
you
there's
can count it on your hand.
They're
how
all,
many
they're all,
there
and
were.
they're all at the one club. It's all the one promoter,
Yeah.
right? That's what small towns are like. There's
Yeah.
one promoter that does types of events.
Mhm.
You know, they have a couple of venues that they use, and you know them all,
Yeah.
right? So,
It's real close knit.
it is very tight knit. So yeah, I think
tight-knit.
you know, getting out in Canada, seeing the different diversity,
Yeah.
you know, seeing what your options are like.
Mhm.
You know, like I said, Toronto's expensive. You know, not everyone's meant to be super rich, but at the same time, we do work pretty hard for the things that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not like we're, you know, like a guy was telling me in India, he's like, I worked less in India because he had internet for like $1 on his cell phone. His cell phone data plan was like $4 a month.
Yeah, cost of living, right?
Yeah,
It's so much cheaper. That's why it's so
He's
nice
like, I'm
for
just at
us to
home.
travel.
I was on the farm just on my phone all day. I'm like, must be nice.
Yeah.
Like, when you're 16, you have to get a job in Toronto. Because your data plan is $80.
Yeah. Just phone bill
Just your
alone.
phone
right?
bill
bill.
alone, right? Like, come on, man.
Every month.
And I guess that, like, we could look, if we were to look at not just Toronto economy, but Canadian economy, it just, everything is so conglomerated, right? I guess that's why everything's so expensive here. Like, would you say that is just lack of competition in most, like, major, like, sectors or industries, like whether it's grocery, telecommunications, etc.?
It's hard because, you know, our population isn't that big.
Mhm.
You know, like,
Yeah,
no,
I
it's
know,
just
and we live,
crazy.
like I said, we live in
Compared to the
Toronto,
land,
right?
yeah.
So we just think of Canada as this vast
Mhm.
place
Yeah.
because Toronto is busy. But nah, it's
Yeah, population
You know.
density wise, we barely occupy anything.
we're doing
right?
nothing.
Yeah.
Like we're doing nothing. You know, when it comes to these small towns, you know, we're not scratching the surface. So for these like, sorry, what was your question again?
Oh, we're just talking about how the Canadian economy is like just filled with a bunch of giant conglomerates killing
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah. So you have like companies like Rogers, TELUS,
Yeah.
some of the bigger ones. It's not really competition. It's our laws that allow companies to just do whatever they want.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Buying out all the competition.
so like in the States, there are some kind of industries that you just can't cross over into. And major businesses try their best to, you know, murky the waters, right? You know, like Microsoft buying a video game company
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
kind of thing, right? Because they're like a
Yeah, they try to
computer
buy
company.
Activision, right? Or
Yeah,
something.
they are buying it, but
Yeah.
it's like murky waters, right? It's like, but they have this thing called Xbox. It's not their core business
Mhm.
It's like I said.
at all. Like Xbox makes almost no money for Microsoft, but it's a part of their business. So they're kind of these little small tactics they use trying to control things.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's fascinating, right? So in Canada,
Mhm.
we don't have any laws restricting companies from kind of like leaning into other businesses,
Yeah.
See what
right?
you're
Like
saying, yeah.
imagine if Apple wanted to buy like every team in New York or something, or you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like why wouldn't they?
Yeah. But in the States, yeah, they have
App-
like
you know, this-
certain acts limiting
Yeah.
overexpansion.
Make
all
sure
of a sudden
it
they're
doesn't
the, the Apple Knicks or something,
Monopolies.
right, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
they can afford it,
Mhm.
you know,
Almost
but
definitely.
but the laws stop these companies from just being able to buy whatever they want.
Exactly.
Leaning into
Here,
other businesses.
Monopolies are just
Yeah. So
whatever.
here, Rogers is
Yeah.
like, okay, oh, there's a thing over there. Sure, we'll get one of those.
Yeah.
and,
We'll get
oh,
that.
grocery stores, buy 3 of those.
Yeah.
Literally.
Why not? You know, and the kind of, because you don't have these competitive forces on the other side, the government just kind of, you know, Galen Weston just does whatever he wants,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate,
Yeah,
right?
and they'll have little hearings in Parliament.
Yeah.
But forget it. It's like they walk out of it unscathed.
Yeah, and then at the same time, we sell some of our infrastructure to these external companies,
Oh yeah.
you know, that are built by government with government funding, which is unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
the
It was that highway, right? And
well, there's
like-
407,
yeah,
but
the
there's
407.
there's lots of projects that we build, just like our oil refineries. We used to refine a lot of oil, but now we export our oil to refine it, then we import it back into Canada.
That's
That makes
insane.
no sense.
That makes no sense.
That's one of the reasons why we pay extra for oil, right? Because we don't refine the oil
Yeah.
that
in
we actually
Alberta,
produce
yeah.
here,
Yeah.
which you know. So I think that's a part of the reason.
Mhm.
But yeah, these big businesses, there's just no reason to compete, right? When you have when you're Bell and Rogers, you know,
Yeah.
hey
You got
guys,
these two giants. What are you gonna
80
do?
bucks for internet a month, $80 deal,
Yeah.
right?
They're
And that's it.
telling us
They
that.
kind of just
Yeah.
like collaborate. They dictate the prices,
You know,
and we eat it.
Well,
we can't do
you-
much, right?
Nothing
why
about it.
compete against each other?
Yeah. Yeah. when
Really?
yeah.
You know, like
It's kind of like the mafia, you know, the way they did things in the New York.
Yeah,
you
there's-
know,
there's-
like
there's
the
no
5
reason.
families.
yeah, there's no
like-
These
reason,
are the
right?
5 families of Canada.
The 5 families.
No,
of
really
Canada,
though,
I mean,
right?
yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
true though, and it's like, you know, lots
And
of
in the
countries
past
are like
we've-
that.
Yeah, and in the past we've had that too, where the compact families during like before
Oh, yeah.
Confederation. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the
you know, ultimately, if you're a business, family, or whatever,
Yeah.
your objective is to acquire,
Yeah, acquire,
things.
make money. Right?
yeah, things that are profitable.
Control the market. And
You
with
know?
these guys, yeah.
So when you
Why
look at
not?
it from that, like I said, when you think of it from like a personal perspective, you're like, oh, my life, everything is so complicated. But you know, to business look at it from a massive scale, like, oh, it's okay, he can do whatever he wants over there. There's billions over here for me. You know, like no one's oh, okay, whatever. We're not going to sit in here and fight for 300 million.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what's that? Let's all agree that if we lose or gain, this extra money doesn't really matter. And that's what they do. They price match each other.
Yeah.
And they say, what's the worst what we'll do? We'll do a $60 deal for the first 2 years. And you're like, you know what, $60 is a steal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Bell for 2 years, Like they don't care.
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing. It's like Leaf tickets. They don't care.
Yeah. That
'Cause they
like
know
your
we'll buy
average fan
regardless.
can afford it because someone's paying for it.
Right? As long as we're sold out, nobody cares.
Exactly.
If we're close enough, and all we have to do is drop the tickets by 10%, and we'll be back to sold out.
Yeah.
Right? Like
They know how to get it back.
they know what the hustle is. A friend of mine kept telling me like one day the Leafs are gonna win, and I'm like thinking to myself, the city of Toronto can't even afford for the Leafs to win.
Is that how they keep us on? Just
What
oh,
we've
we're gonna keep- we're gonna win.
been burned down downtown Toronto. Look what happened at the Raptors game.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
Raptors won. And those are the
And
peaceful
we've only had
protesters.
that sport for 20 years, really. Here,
Those are
right?
the
We've only had
peaceful
a pro
ones.
team
That's like
since
the young. That's a young people
Yeah.
having a vibe.
So imagine, right? The Leafs.
Imagine some
whoever.
70-year-old guys. They'll be burning the city down.
Yeah.
This is the last hurrah.
Yeah, literally.
It's the last one I'll see.
Tomorrow's not promised for them, so they might go wild today,
There's
kind
a lot
of thing.
old people just dying in their, just dying happy in their
Just
nursing home.
seeing the
Yeah.
Leafs
They
win.
finally won.
A lot of smiles in those deathbeds.
Croaking over. I can
Oh,
finally
man.
go.
Yeah.
The thing that the team holds over someone, if that makes sense, like that kind
Yeah.
of power.
Well, you want your team to win. Like we're from the city.
Yeah, I won't admit it, but yeah, it's true. I do want
Competitive
the city-
spirits. It's the next guy. When you travel, you get outside of Toronto.
Yeah,
Where you're from matters to lots of people.
that is true. Yeah,
And it's not like love you, hate you matter, but there is a respect that you gain from being a responsible adult in other people's countries when they meet you.
Yeah.
that's
know?
true. Yeah,
So hey, we met this guy. He's super cool. He's super fun. He's responsible. We got drunk. We got back. Toronto people are cool, and then they associate everybody with you.
Oh,
Yeah, we
I
don't
see what
have
you're
we
saying.
don't
people
want
that
to
are
be
like
seen
you.
as Americans, right?
Well,
like loud, abrasive.
Depends, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of Canadians.
Yeah, a
Oh,
lot of
100%.
Canadians get a little
All the- yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, how crazy have you gotten during your travels? Because you're quite the seasoned traveler yourself, right?
Traveler.
Yes, I don't know. I've gotten drunk.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh yeah, we have as well.
I've
yeah.
gotten drunk. When I travel by myself to do leisure things, to get my mind off things, I don't really drink a lot or party a lot. It's a lot of hiking. It's a lot of like working out. It's a lot of personal time.
Yeah.
Getting back to the basics. When I go with the boys, it's usually 10 of us or something. I'm not really worried about stuff. They drink Hennessy like it's water. I don't remember half the times we went out with the boys, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
You're just getting wasted so much of them.
I got home and I'm here, guys.
Yeah.
I survived, right?
How many
Like I
nights
said,
have we had like that? A lot, for sure. Yeah.
what's the response? You survived, right?
You survive, yes.
So I feel, it's also a safety thing, right?
That's
like,
true.
Yeah, when you're overseas, right? It's like you don't have the like here we're familiar with the laws. We know how to conduct ourselves in a
Yeah.
foreign country, right?
it's true. It doesn't matter where you go, you're still a tourist,
Yeah,
and nowhere is safe if you're ignorant. So I think that's the most important thing. Like I don't find Toronto unsafe,
yeah.
but it's not unsafe because I know what not to do here.
Exactly, yes. I know what you mean.
You know where to go, where not to go.
You know,
You know what to do.
how to carry yourself.
So I feel like, if you're not ignorant in other people's countries, most countries are relatively safe. But don't go crazy. I've heard horror stories when I was traveling, like of people who had really bad experiences in certain places.
Oh yeah, like
And
where?
Just doing the wrong thing.
Like
doing the wrong things, like
Oh, yeah.
in Thailand.
Oh,
I met a guy.
imagine, yeah.
They were trying to find like Kush,
Mhm.
and they asked like a tuk-tuk driver, and tuk-tuk
Oh,
drivers
man.
are, they're just hustling. Everyone's out hustling.
Everyone's
know?
trying to get their dollar.
So when you're looking for something random and you ask somebody random, you end up with random,
That's a pretty good way. That's the best way to put it.
right? Like I'm in the
That's a
middle
good
of
way
some
to
other
put it.
country where this shit is illegal. And now I want this thing, and I don't even know who the fuck this person is, but now I'm asking them
Yeah.
to put my personal, life basically,
Yeah, you're putting
because
yourself in
if I
jeopardy.
get caught with weed, I might get arrested or whatever, right? So who
Yeah.
knows what might happen? This random person, and then he ended up at some bar. They ended up getting robbed.
Fuck.
I was like pretty shocked, but it's a lot of it's not like direct. It's putting you in a bad situation and then kind of forcing you to pay for it, kind of thing. So
Like they're like extorting you to get out of
a lot of it's
somewhere,
extortion, kind of hustling. Oh yeah, you got there. Oh yeah, drink. It's $50 USD. You're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
But there's 20 people asked. Oh, if you don't pay, like whatever the fuck, what
Well,
happened?
yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, you don't want to take the risk.
So you end up in these awkward situations
Yeah.
that you don't want to be in. So I would definitely, don't be ignorant, don't be flashy, just enjoy yourself. You know? Being, like I said, the benefits of being Canadian is you can kind of just your dollar. It's weak right now, but it's better than most countries.
It's better, yeah. When you go to a place like Thailand, Philippines, right? I imagine
Like,
in those countries the dollar goes far.
the dollar does go far, but you can live, a fairly normal life. Simple, to the point. Like, what do you do here? You can do there.
Yeah.
Get up, have breakfast,
Yeah.
go get lunch, drive your little tuk-tuk or drive your little cart or moped. Get around.
Well, when you were in Mexico, right? You found that was probably the case, right? The Canadian dollar went so
Oh,
far.
yeah, for
You
sure.
just
Yeah,
get
pesos.
The pesos.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, dollar to peso
Yeah.
conversion.
No.
You were eating good.
I was eating good, yes.
The deeper you go into Mexico, the cheaper it gets.
Oh, for sure. Whatever cocina you go to, like.
Yeah, what you end up doing in Mexico?
Just visiting family.
Okay.
Just visiting family and a little bit of Mexico City, but I was with my mom, so
Okay.
not really getting to see as much as I would want to see.
Well, what did you see in Mexico City, though?
The old, like the burial sites, like sorry, not burial
yeah.
sites, like of the old city, like the pyramids.
Oh, like the Aztec temple.
Yeah,
thing?
like the Aztec sites.
Sweet. Yeah.
Saw that, and it's like in the center of the city, so it's pretty impressive because you see all these buildings and like the structure of it. It's like because the city's like kind of like it's on water, right? So it's submerging a bit.
Okay.
So you can see the buildings are uneven.
Yeah, I've never been to Mexico City. It's something that
It's a
I've,
city to go to for sure.
I definitely
There's
want to
a lot
go
to
there.
see.
I did all the partying in Mexico, but
It's
Wow,
over.
How was that?
Yeah.
it's Mexico, man.
Mexico.
It's
You know,
enough
like,
said, yeah.
yeah. I feel like as a Canadian, we already know how to throw down.
Yeah, so you just go there. It's like you're just throwing
Like,
down there.
Just do your
Everywhere I've
thing.
ever seen Canadians do anything, they do it impressive.
Yeah.
So, when you go to Mexico, I always try to find the locals.
Yeah.
See who's here, who's trying to get.
And the people are cool.
Depends on who you meet. For sure.
Yeah, Mexico's
Yeah.
dangerous.
It's dangerous. For
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, how do you navigate? Like,
You gotta
those,
just,
terrains, you
like
know?
use the best of your intuition and ability to read someone.
Yeah,
right?
so it's a lot
like,
of it is judgment based. I
for sure,
guess.
for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
you can tell a lot by someone's appearance for sure, right?
Yeah, be safe, right? Don't
Don't
put
go
yourself
anywhere
out
you can't
there.
go.
Yeah, don't put yourself out there in awkward situations
Yeah.
because like you'll take, like I said, anyone will take advantage of you
Yeah.
if you give them the opportunity to.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when we were in Ireland the last night, a guy I think we were outside Temple Bar, funny enough, of all places,
so
right?
that's-
And then
Temple Bar,
some random
jeez.
guy, I don't know if you remember, he comes up to us, right? He's like, "Hey, you guys want cocaine?" And we're like, looking at
Right,
him, like,
I remember that.
yeah, and we're like, "Is this for real? Like, is he a
Yeah.
Fed? Is he like?"
Kind
Because
of.
I'm like,
What is
who
this?
would like? If it like, no way a real dealer's gonna ask that bluntly, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, what is going on here?
He knew you guys were tourists. He saw it on your
Yeah,
faces.
100%.
100%.
Especially this one, right? In Dublin. This one's still kind of like a sore thumb.
Dublin was a good time though.
Yeah? Oh, how did you like
man,
Dublin?
Bars on every corner, man.
For
It was
sure.
a
For
very,
real, yeah?
It was a very interesting experience. The first time I ever played bar bingo.
Bar
Right,
bingo.
yeah, we played like bar bingo.
Bar bingo, what is that?
Yeah, it was just like bingo at the it was like at a Guinness bar,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just similar to normal bingo, but every time you got your thing, you had to like take a sip of the beer.
Oh.
We were just playing
everyone's
bar,
doing
yeah,
pints
and then when
and
you
Guinness.
win like another pint, So yeah, it was a long night.
That's actually, that's a cool
That sounds
concept.
fun.
It was a long night until
Yeah.
we were all like, okay, so I feel like we should probably head back to our
Yeah.
our Airbnb now.
That's how we felt, man, because we did pub golf.
what the hell was that? Pub golf?
Oh, we got fucking hammered.
Yeah.
It was like too much. Like I was on the verge of throwing up. And
Pub golf.
yeah, it's like you'd let's say you'll have a set of teams, and
Yeah.
then each hole it represents a bar, and then you gotta like each team each player has to chug a beer as quickly as it can,
Ooh.
and the team with the least time basically wins the hole, and then you progress forward. And like there's specific rules that each hole can have. Like one hole could be, this is the hole where you gotta use your left. This is the hole where you can't go to the bathroom. This is the hole where you gotta sing a song backwards, kind of
See,
thing.
those
Yeah.
guys know how to drink. That's why they have all these games.
Yeah. They're just advanced.
They just
man.
want to keep it
I'm
going.
like thinking to myself, like, damn, pub golf? What's this? Pub bingo?
Yeah.
These guys,
They're getting creative with it.
they're in the pub a lot.
Yeah, they're in the pub so much, man. They got different like fucking activities to do there.
Do you remember the guy at the airport who was drinking? He was drinking a Guinness at like 6 in the morning.
At 6 in the morning, yeah. It's like
Like there's
it's
no
the culture, man.
Yeah, it's just drinkers, man.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh, I saw that and I was like, you know what? Good for that guy, man. He's living life
He
right
knows
now.
how to do it,
No.
right?
Yeah.
I have a friend that's like that. He just gets up in the morning when we go to resorts,
Yeah.
and I'm like getting up to go to the gym. I'm about to read my book after, and he's already at the first bar, like having beers.
The day already started.
Huh?
The day already started for him.
Yeah, he's already like, so I'll see you at the bar later. I'm like, bruh,
So I
I'm not
just
gonna be there for
woke up.
4 hours.
I'm not gonna drink after 3 p.m.
Yeah, then by the time I get there, he's like, yeah, man, I'm on my 12th one.
Yeah.
Start joining. I'm like, yo, it's gonna be a good day.
Haven't even had my morning coffee.
No, man, the espressos, man, that's what's up. I
Oh,
don't even
yeah.
drink coffee, man, because you be pissing all week. Just espressos only when we're on the road.
On the road, yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. So what are you gonna do after the wrestling is over?
That's a good question because that's what everyone on my team's asking me. Honestly,
Oh.
I'm gonna relax a bit, but I
Okay.
think next year I'll go to coaching high school.
Okay.
Yeah, because my coach at York did want me to come back, or does want me to come back, but I feel like I put in enough time there. Like I love it, but at the same time, it might be more fruitful actually for me to coach at the high school level.
Yeah.
Get some connections. Hopefully, then that way when I get my license, it might pay dividends. All that work I did. Maybe I
Okay.
can get some connects, some references, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then definitely just focus more on school because I find that with wrestling, it just made my life like really difficult. Like I love it.
Just
But,
time.
Yeah, time. It's like find that my days end up being 12 hours, most days. It's like classes, wrestling, like what is I do my like community placement stuff, then wrestling. It's like as much as I love these things, it's like takes a toll after a while.
Yeah. But what else are you doing when you're not doing these things?
That's the thing. It's like wrestling basically occupies a big portion of my time because that's an easy 3-4 hours right there. And then like the other things I'm doing is either I'm doing my coursework, I'm doing lesson plans for my school placement. I gotta answer emails because I'm mentoring varsity athletes as part of my program, and they're always asking questions at all hours of the day because I told them they can, and they like to take advantage. And I don't
the
blame them.
cardinal rule.
Yeah.
Hit me anytime. No third.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh yeah, 11 p.m. I got an assignment due at 12. You mind helping me check it out? And then a few times, I'm not gonna name names. I've had kids who are like, oh man, I did this assignment. It was all AI. I'm putting into the AI reader and it's reading 50%. And it's like, Stefan, help me out. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, where's the citations at, man? At least give credit to the stuff you took it from. And there you go. So I showed him how to do in-text citations, and all of a sudden it said 0%.
Game
He
over.
looks at me, yeah. I'm like, there you go, man. Plagiarism 101. I promise when I'm a teacher, I'm not gonna
Maybe the story should have
tolerate-
not been on the
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? Cut that one out.
Yeah.
Cut.
We'll keep it on for the jokes. But
There you go.
Yeah.
AI. Yeah, AI is dangerous though.
AI is dangerous. Huh?
Yeah. Have you guys been trying out the new like?
I definitely want to try
Well,
out some
a-
AI.
yeah. I think a big thing that's happening right now is like the celebrities, like their likeliness is being misused for whatever purposes, right? Like all sorts of crazy.
I think
stuff
AI
going on.
could like replace Hollywood movies in some way, or if people do it in the right way.
Yeah. I don't know what Hollywood is kind of dead.
It's dead.
Right? I think Hollywood is kind of dead. I think the writers killed it, only because there's so many publishing spaces now they can use.
Mhm.
Why would you spend time over here, that much energy? It used to be like, oh yeah, you want to be a big, big Hollywood movie, big budget, you go do it. But now it's like, why would I leave and go to LA for all this time?
Yeah.
when I can do this from my house in New York or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So and work for Hulu.
Yeah.
I know
Whoever
you got
it
like
is, right?
Atlanta is like a big like a base
Yeah.
for production now, right?
So you have all these
Or media
opportunities,
production.
with the media industry and the Hollywood industry.
Yeah.
Even Toronto, right? Is
a
like
lot of filming here. Vancouver's a lot of filming.
yeah,
CW is
Netflix
out
is
there.
opening up stuff
Yeah.
here. It's weird. I have a girl in one of my classes who's like doing stuff on NBC and Netflix, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" But I guess she just really wants to be a
Working,
teacher.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shit, I hear that. But yeah, the AI tools that they're using, they help you navigate where you want to get to. I think that's what's cool about AI
Yeah.
now. Kind of if you're a creator, you can do demo reels of things easier. You can kind of like look at the creative part of it before you map it out. Before you had to design it first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then be like, oh man, it's not how I thought it was,
Well, that's the thing. It's making everything more efficient now, right?
Yeah. So
Like in terms of like even like office work, right? Imagine like
Oh.
paralegal, like
buddy, Gemini is in my Gmail and it's game changing.
So that's the thing. It's
oh, you're just pumping out emails left, right, and center.
The canned responses
Yeah.
turned up. What do you mean?
Yeah. It's like something that would have taken you an hour to do otherwise is probably
Buddy,
taking you like 10 minutes now, right?
It starts off right there, like help with this. Like it starts like it's before I write anything. Do you need help? I'm like, yes.
Yes,
where you
please.
been all my
What's
life.
going on here? Like, come on.
Yeah, AI is it's a great thing
It's
if you use it right.
the ability, the things that it does. I think people are afraid of it because it does remove the easy jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
like
that's
it
gonna
does
expedite
it
automation.
does do lots of hard jobs, right?
Mhm.
Like it does a lot of hard jobs, but it really messes with the easy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are going to get bothered by. People who do easy stuff
Mhm.
for
That
half
just
their
requires
day.
some organizing, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like you don't need you to organize this
yeah,
stuff
I was
anymore.
like, oh man,
ChatGPT will
emails
take care of it.
emails take all day, but now it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that anymore.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? So I think there's things that we do that we used to kind of linger and kind of procrastinate on doing.
Yeah.
That technology has now removed this like procrastination ability.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
I agree.
thing with the
Right.
8-hour days, right? And
Yeah.
like maybe during the 1940s and 50s, that made a lot of sense. But like nowadays with technology, it's like
Yeah.
an 8-hour day doesn't even feel necessary for a lot of jobs because
Well, that's
like
how
how
technology. Yeah.
efficient we are, right? It's
Yeah.
like how long it would have taken back then to do a task. Now, again, it's like maybe your average employee only needs 3 hours to get that same work done. So it's like, what happens in the future? Do we continue this model of 8 hours a day, 5 days a week? Or do we end up like drawing a new model where employees only have to work X amount of hours but still making the same wage? It's who knows, right?
Yeah, that's an employer question, but the
Yeah.
employers are in a bad situation, right? Because where does it stop? It's not
Yeah.
like you're the person who invented the AI,
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
right? They're like, hey man, we got a new app and now you get a half day. Like, no, right? So companies have to find ways to keep their employees
Keep working on
busy.
it. Right? Yeah.
And that's where you're going to lose a lot of people from industries. That's where you're going to have to start to find a hobby that you can do on the side. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of temp work is going to be the future.
And I think it
Um,
already is in the present, right? It's
Well, a lot
like-
of people have a second job,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So, that second skill is you can try to find a high paying second skill.
Mhm.
Then you always have some kind of balance. Not working in this
yeah,
job,
something to lean on.
this other thing is over here. I can do a little extra for now until I find something over
Mm-hmm.
here because, like I said, AI is going to remove these little things and force people to actually have to have these skills to facilitate the job.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of things was teachable. Well, now you got to actually know how to do stuff,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing. It kind of removes the
Like-
bottom,
I was gonna say like dead weight.
Yeah, I don't want to call people dead
That way,
weights.
but-
That's too. That's
It
too.
was a
much.
little.
But sometimes
it's
let's
too
face it,
hard.
we're all in the
That's
workplace.
how I
and-
feel.
yeah.
It's a strong statement,
Yeah.
but not everyone is good at things, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
I don't want you to say dead weight because they can obviously do something else. Maybe the guy who sucks at cementing, maybe he's a great artist or something,
Yeah.
right? I don't know.
Of course. Of course.
But at the same time, there's a lot of these people who are kind of just scraping by, and truly, from a company standpoint, you want to get rid of them.
You only want to have your efficient.
We want people that just want to, even if they don't want to be here, at least they're appreciate that they're working.
Yeah, like they're doing
Right,
a good
like,
job. You know,
At least
whether
go to
they
work
like
and
it
do
or
it.
not.
Yeah, come on, do your
Yeah.
job. You come into work and you're pissed off every day. It's like, buddy, and your shit. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Right,
Like, there's nothing
like-
going for that person. It's funny.
It's
As soon as you think that thought of that, I just started thinking about university administration. I'm like,
Like-
how many of those people are just gonna get slashed?
Like, you know,
Right?
Gemini is killing all their jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you know how annoying it is to do things in these levels? I guess, right? All the corporate
What?
levels.
Come on, man. I'm sorry. Learn a skill.
Yeah.
Like, learning how to use Gmail is not a skill anymore.
Yeah. We're not in like 2005 anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the world is. I mean, that's a scary part, though, right? As the world is changing so fast, how do you adapt, right? That's the whole
Bro,
point of
Chat
evolution.
GPT. What do you mean? How do you adapt?
Yeah, you
Learn.
just find the necessary tools.
What the hell? Someone said replace all this other shit with this couple of apps, and you're like, how do I learn? Like,
Just use the.
use what's here.
Yeah.
You know,
just use the
people-
resources. Right?
Yeah, like, come on. So when someone tells me, oh, my resume is not that good, I'm like, so you're what, an idiot? Like, you don't know how to use a Google? You're on your phone every day. You can't use, these things are so easy now. It's a joke, actually, how easy things are now. It's, it's not even like funny. Like, we laugh about it, but it's a joke, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, just picking up a skill, right? ChatGPT could give
Copy,
you a narrow breakdown of how to learn.
Paste,
Yeah.
question. Done. Oh, take that template. No, I didn't like it. Copy, paste, new question until it's done. Like, what did you do? Right? Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that we just, it's not even DIY or whatever from YouTube anymore. This is like, it's doing it for you.
Yeah, it's doing all the thinking for you.
It's not
now,
even
actually, yeah.
before you're like, oh man, and you watch the YouTube video and see if I can do that. Learn, how to code or whatever. Now
Yeah,
it's
now
like,
ChatGPT.
build this thing for me. Sick. Now I need to learn how to prompt.
Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that because a lot of the times I'll be like in a student center or whatever, right, during work and these little cubicle things. And it's always comp sci students. I see they got like chat. I'm looking to the side. I see the chat GPT up. They're basically doing their homework for them.
Hey, come
It was
on,
like, yeah.
man. Like, if you
Nurses are telling me they're doing like chat GPT for their assignments.
if you're not, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. When I was in school, it was Cole's Notes or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
every
yeah.
generation has their version.
Mhm.
Buddy, this is their version. And
Yeah.
it's great. Like, and I wish I had this shit.
Yeah. Just
Wish I
expedite
had
the
it sooner.
process. Now you got all the free time to do whatever else you want.
What?
Right?
Like, don't tell me your homework is not done.
Yeah. Yeah, you have no excuse. The younger
You
kids,
know?
it's funny. They still don't do the work, man.
Um,
From what I've seen.
You know what it is though? It's because there is a level of knowledge that has to go behind
Yeah.
cheating,
Mhm.
right? Like you have to
You have to
actually be
strategize.
good. At,
Yeah. You have to strategize.
You can't be
right?
like basic level plagiarism, like you said before.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "How do I fix it?"
Yeah.
When you're basic level plagiarism, your shit gets caught easy.
Exactly. Like if
You
you
know?
don't want to get caught, you got to know the system a little bit, right? You know
Yeah,
how
so
to
you
game
gotta
things.
learn some skills.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's what YouTube is for. ChatGPT is for cheating.
Yeah.
And YouTube is for gaming. And that's
Exactly.
what's up. You have to use all your tools.
Mhm.
And then, then you have 4 hours left at the end of your day that
Exactly.
you would have been doing
Do
homework
whatever.
with.
Yeah. That leisure time, which is important too, right? I think leisure time is very important.
Yeah.
Do you think it's one of those things, because you talk about how in Toronto, everyone
Yeah.
has to work really hard, which is true,
Yeah,
right? To be able to just
shitty.
live. Do you think that like that definitely comes at the expense of leisure time? Do you think that it is an important factor within our lives?
Like just taking time to yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think family time and like personal time, these times take a huge hit due to the pace of our lives.
Yeah.
And it's not just the pace of our lives, it's how things come at us. So we treat things the same, like everything's happening so fast. So I'm too tired. I don't want to do this thing.
Right.
Right. Even if you're not that tired, you're just like, but I haven't had a break all week. I don't want to do this other thing.
Is it like rationalization? Right?
Yeah. Like we rationalize missing things because this is our only time to have our own time.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Right. So I do believe like leisure is missing, in Europe, they have a long vacation, like periods,
They
4
do-
to
they
6
do like to
weeks.
take their time.
Yeah. Well, it's like mandated the way that their structure is.
Yeah, and I
You know?
imagine like a lot of these countries also fought hard for, like France with their numerous millions of protests.
Yeah. France. definitely, those countries, they just focus more on it's colonialism.
Yeah.
So their history is like someone else is doing the work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
If you want
profit it off
to
of-
prompt it back,
Yeah,
you know, like
sure.
it's more of like, so they were some of the first to adopt these more laid back rules. And like every society, once something becomes a part of the rules, it's really hard to remove it from people,
Yeah.
right? Like,
It's like we get used to it,
yeah,
acclimated.
like,
if
if
you
I
will.
gave Dylan 6 weeks and for 10 years he had 6 weeks vacation,
Yeah,
and then 1 year I'm like, you know what? New rules, guys. 2 weeks. You know,
Yeah,
everyone in
everyone's
Dylan's
gonna get
situation
up
in his
arms
role
about
would
it.
be losing their minds
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So when you talk about countries, people will like literally protesting mental health, right? Like,
Yeah.
don't you dare give me 6 weeks and then take them back. So those countries are fucked in that regard, but I appreciate the time because, they get a week to get drunk and a week to recover. Right?
Yeah, they
Like,
did it right. They got the
what the
balance
hell?
right. Yeah.
I go get drunk, I come back recovering at work.
yeah. They're on the computer like hungover.
Like, I didn't even get a break.
Yeah. You the trash can right beside you while like
Yeah, I didn't even get a break, guys. Like, I flew in last night.
Yeah.
And I'm back to where I only get 7 days.
Hey, I remember you put me on what is it? You did that to me personally when you scheduled me for work after we came back from Florida.
Buddy, you gotta make this money, man.
Gotta make
The
this
work
money,
doesn't
gotta get the
stop.
bread.
What's up, man?
And
Welcome
that's
to
the
Canada.
thing. And that's the way I saw it too. I'm like, fuck, I just spent all this money.
Like-
Then I need to get my money.
I need
up.
to get my
Like,
money back.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part, It's like you work so hard and then it's gone.
It's gone, and now you gotta
And-
build it back up.
Now you're recovering it, So
It's like a never-ending cycle. And then I spend it because now we're going to Amsterdam this summer.
whew,
Yeah,
Amsterdam's a good time. Black bikes, man.
Yeah.
Jeez, coffee shops.
the coffee
The
shops.
special,
That's what we're
yes.
looking at. Yeah.
The coffee shops,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
And you've been to Amsterdam, right?
Yeah.
How was your time there?
I liked Amsterdam a lot. The food was whatever.
Yeah, Dutch
But,
food is.
we're not there for
Yeah,
the
the
Yeah.
food was like.
We're not there for
yeah, I'm Jamaican, so you have to.
You're used to flavor.
I need food.
Yeah. Not
Those-
potatoes and
yeah.
schnitzel or whatever.
potato and fucking pastry and
Yeah.
shit. Like, come on, dude. But yeah, the culture was really cool. People are interesting. They had a lot of bike lanes, a lot of bike.
Yeah.
Like everything was on
Bike-centric,
bikes.
right?
Yeah, so I like that part of it. People were nice.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee shops are interesting. The laws there were interesting because it's not
Yeah.
legal there,
Mhm.
but it's decriminalized.
Decriminalize our like what we did with Vancouver for a little bit.
Yeah, so it's interesting there because tourists, they go and they just do whatever they want when it's not the law.
Mhm.
And now that Canada's legal, and lots of places in America are illegal, the tourists there are even worse because it's still
yeah,
not the
because
law.
now we're just like like the
Still not-
stigma's gone, so we
Yeah.
feel comfortable here. Imagine when we're over there.
Yeah,
right?
like
And
when I was
it's-
there,
yeah.
people were just rolling blunts and walk. I'm like, these are Americans.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
it
would you say
has
to
to
be more
be, yeah.
discreet about it,
Um,
or just be more respectful?
be more respectful.
Because
I
I've heard
think.
now is that they
Yeah.
don't like respect that you could get fined for smoking in public nowadays.
Yeah, it's just you have to be like I said, it's be respectful of people's countries, and don't be ignorant in people's countries, that kind of thing. You know? I just found that the rules were pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Go to the coffee shop, smoke weed,
Yeah, you could then you have
do
like, a
some
business
shrooms,
there,
and do whatever
right?
you want. You
Yeah.
just walk downstairs.
And you like delegated spaces there
Yeah,
to
do
it,
your
right?
thing,
Yeah, you don't
you
have to
know.
do it in front of some national museum.
People are
Yeah.
social. It's the environment,
Yeah.
It's like going to like a coffee shop and everyone's here to drink coffee. People are like, "Oh yeah, what'd you get today?" "Oh, what are you smoking today?" or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Like it's a hangout spot.
Yeah.
And
So
how's the vibe there? Like everyone's chill or
well, like I said, it's that is the environment,
Mhm.
right? In the coffee shop. Outside of the coffee shop, people are tourists. They get crazy.
Yeah.
They do, like I said, they're not really respectful because the locals
Mhm.
know that it's not legal.
Yeah.
So the locals, lots of people don't smoke, right? They don't advocate
Yeah, you
for
don't
it
get
or whatever.
fined
It's
by the
like
cops or
it's like
whatever.
Vancouver, right? Like the law is allowing people to have all these safe spaces,
Mhm.
but no one in Vancouver is advocating for people to take fentanyl or whatever
Yeah.
it is, right? Like
Yeah, it's like
that's
here,
not-
we had a pilot project where you could drink in the parks after a certain
Yeah.
time, right? But it's like,
Well,
but no one is
come on.
in theory, no one should be shooting up in the
Yeah,
park. but-
there's lots of things that we are okay with that we probably shouldn't be,
Mhm.
drinking in the park. Come on, man. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, it is
It's like
children here.
a real public place.
Yeah.
Like, people of all ages go,
Right, like-
especially young kids. Yeah.
You know,
like-
like a 40 in your van. Like, come on, what are we
And
doing?
there's a 4-year-old walking right by.
Like, have we gone too far the other way? Is that what's going on in Canada?
I can't lie. Sometimes I spark the blunts and I see families of the distance and I'm thinking to myself, I'm far enough away, right?
Like how many times have we been
I don't
there?
know what to say. Come
In
on.
the same position.
It's legal, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
I get it. There are, you know, you have to be, like I said, be respectful of the
Yeah.
space. You know, drinking in the parks. I don't think that should be too big of a deal after a certain hour, maybe. You know,
I mean, people do that all the time where
Yeah.
they bring a bottle of wine to the park,
people
whatever,
need
a six-pack.
yeah, like
It's a social thing. I
like you
guess.
said, for leisure. You know, like people
Yeah.
need to have spaces they can go outside of their house. That's why
Yeah.
COVID was so crazy
Oh
for
my God,
people.
yeah.
Cold, you know, because you're cooped up.
Yeah.
And someone's like, you can't even go sit on a hill. You're like, what do you
You
mean?
can't go outside.
Yeah, you're gonna get like, oh, like you're not social distancing.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
There's circles on the grass. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah, you want to go to Riverdale Park or whatever. You know, these little circles dividing up into sections. And,
So,
yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. It's those kind of restrictions are a little bit tricky because, come on, like sometimes you just need to get outside.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need to get outside.
It's as simple as that. Like
a-
for
yeah, we're
human,
social
like a
beings.
mental health. Yeah.
Like mental health, really, it's not. You know, I get it. Some people get crazy and wild, whatever. What the fuck? Do the police not have a job?
Yeah, right? It's
Right.
like we pay them for a reason.
What the
Taxpayer
hell?
money is funding them for.
Like, come on, man.
If there's a right moment to do their job,
Yeah.
Like, is there a time to
that's time to be a cop.
protect and serve?
Yeah.
It's right
After
now.
the beer store closes.
Exactly.
Like, what's really going on?
Like, yeah. It's funny we were talking about the beer store because I remember we were talking about earlier when Doug Ford, he expanded licenses for convenience stores to be able to sell, right? Alcohol.
Mm.
I thought it was going to be a lot crazier than what it was, but I think they had managed to roll it a little bit better. But you
Yeah.
still, like, do you think that we're on the right path in terms of making these things more accessible?
You know, it's not like it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So I
This
don't
is
really
still-
care.
you still gotta pay, yeah.
If we're gonna be really honest about it, you know, Ontario is the largest purchaser of alcohol in the world. Like, we're
Oh, really?
yeah, because
Well,
because
also funds like our like education, it funds our medical
Yeah.
system, right? All the tax.
well, we
revenue.
use it as a revenue source,
Yeah.
right? We're the
As a
largest
huge revenue source,
place
yeah.
in the world that has regulated alcohol
Right.
for our size. So 10 million people are regulated, you know, how we can consume alcohol from regulated from companies, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not like the grocery store is competing against the LCBO, it's competing against ESSO.
Yeah, no, it's all the
like
same thing.
Corona's
yeah.
$15.99.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Buy it in 8 places type thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's what sucks about it. You know, it's like, great, you know.
Again, the prices are all fixed, right? There's no competition. There's no incentive to lower it. It's like at the end of the day, they all can have the equal market
Yeah,
share.
so now my gas station is fucking cluttered now with
Yeah.
bullshit. Like, there's already an LCBO, guys. They're selling liquor in Walmart. I don't know what to say. Like, you know,
And
like I said, it's
Metro,
not
too.
cheaper.
Yeah.
So people aren't gonna, like you said, not rush out to go buy anything because there's no competition for it.
I see. Yeah.
You know, so what's the point? It's like it's $8 here, it's $8 there. Now it's closer.
Yeah.
Come on.
The only thing is probably whoever the workers are in there. They're probably the only ones that have
The
to deal.
hell? Why give these guys even more work?
Yeah, literally.
I already got to pay before I get gas. It's already dangerous out here.
Yeah. Now they got to deal with vagrants coming in.
I can't even just buy gas and just, you know, pump first anymore.
Yeah.
And now we got to deal with, you know,
Alcoholic.
people drinking White Claws
Yeah.
coming in late night.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel bad. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about the workers.
like, come on now. You guys are closing? Let me get another 4-pack before you go? Like, buddy, peace out, man.
Yeah. You're not even the state to be able to get this thing right now, man.
Like, come on. And, you know, and what are you going to do? You're not a bartender.
Yeah, right. You can't say last call, or you can't tell them, oh, you're too drunk for your own good. You don't have that training.
Like, the guy just, you know, I don't know. The alcohol thing and the weed shops and, you know, things being legal is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like we need this much of it.
Yeah.
It's like the commercialization, right?
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my God, especially the dispensaries, right? Everywhere.
Like, how you have more dispensaries than Tim Hortons? Like,
Yeah,
It's kind of
for
fucked
real.
up.
Yeah.
And Tim Hortons is, you know,
And they're also all selling the same stuff too, the dispensaries. Like for the same price.
all
and it's-
provincially
they say, like,
regulated.
yeah.
Yeah.
right? So that's another part of it, you know.
So then you got the indigenous ones, which are way better, like
Price-wise?
price-wise,
Price-wise,
and like
yeah.
what they offer compared to this like
Yeah.
state mandated dispensaries.
Yeah, I guess, you know, for all the weed smokers, there's options now.
Yeah.
You know, your local dealer might have better product now at least.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, right? In the past, everyone was talking about what's going to happen when it gets legalized. Are the dealers going to get priced out? And it's like, no, right? Studies have proven that like the black market is stronger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Sales are still going strong there. So it kind of goes to show that, like,
Well, what ends up happening is that more people are now open with it.
yeah, I think it's like the culture's been so lenient towards it, right?
Like,
It's like,
you know, cops aren't driving around trying to pull over drug dealers selling weed anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
Really?
it's so casual,
Right?
culture.
Like,
Yeah.
because, you know, half people are probably high driving anyway.
Literally, yeah. Well, you
Welcome
gotta
to
tell
Ontario.
us, right? Because we were in high school and it got legalized. What was the
Yeah.
culture like before and after? Was it like a stark difference in terms of leniency, acceptance?
Yeah, I think it's drastically changed. You know how we approach it.
Mhm.
Prior to it getting legalized, I probably didn't smoke that much at all. More of it probably COVID, being cooped up and needing a way to like release, and then
Mhm.
still using it as a way to release on the weekends. But prior to, it was just stigmatized. You know, it's illegal. Police use it as a reason to like harass people.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's the
Right.
biggest issue that weed was causing.
Mhm.
You had this fairly minor thing that's used by all races.
Yeah.
It's not like it has no color. Grandmas smoke weed,
Yeah.
teenagers
It's
smoke weed.
pervasive to
Yeah,
all
like everybody
different
does
peoples.
their thing for different
Yeah.
reasons, you know. So it was just this weird thing that just kept allowing police to get themselves involved in the community in
Yeah.
a negative way, where I didn't think they should have been, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it being legalized, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, in New Brunswick, they have like NB cannabis, which is basically like their LCBO, but for
Oh,
weed.
Oh.
I
So
see.
So originally Ontario was going to do that. They're going to have like these like weed stores that were
Mhm.
connected to like the LCBO because it's all regulated anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
They're allowing private.
But you have
like,
to build these.
business
Yeah,
owners,
you have to build them though.
What
Right.
a nightmare that would have been.
Yeah. But you know what? To be honest, it works in New Brunswick.
Mhm.
Right? It works. It's just like this. It's a provincially run thing.
Yeah.
You know where the locations are. You know.
And I imagine the population is so small, right? Like who's gonna be doing all these private businesses anyway, right? Like here you have enough.
If the black
Capital
market is still
center.
going on and there's all these stores, like nothing will stop it.
Yeah.
Like
At the end of the day, consumers want to find the cheapest option they can, the most convenient
the
option.
most convenient option.
Yeah.
I think what it comes down to.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And you know, I don't know. I think, like I said, it's lots has changed because we just look at weed differently. Like
Yeah.
you said, we're outside. You should be able to do these things. I think smoking inside's a little aggressive, obviously, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I think we should have cafes and stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
And
there is the
are a
cafe.
few
Yeah.
spots, yeah, right? There's
Are
one
they legal
like,
though?
I don't know. That's a good
that's true,
question.
that's a
I
good
don't know.
point.
There's one by Young and Dundas.
I thought the cafe place was
That's
like,
nice.
like was
Which
it
one?
like the
Oh, cafe. Yeah,
dispensary.
yeah, the cafe dispensary. Yeah.
It's like you can.
see,
It's
I
like
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
You smoke there and you can.
I
actually
think,
drink
but you
it
had to smoke outside, or could you smoke inside?
I think it's inside. I
Is
think like inside the store you can.
Huh.
Well, yeah. We'll see what it's actually.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah, I
I did
don't
one
know.
at a weed cafe down by Young and Dundas.
Yeah.
That place was nice. You go in, you get it in there. They give you like you could like rent out bongs or whatever, bring your own.
That's what I figured that should be, you know,
It's a standard, right?
like, come on.
Yeah.
It's a
People gotta
standard.
go do something, you know.
Yeah, right.
You know, set a time limit because I know when people get high, they just be lingering.
Yeah, you don't need someone
a
paying
good
like
point.
$10 and then staying there for like
Or
3
should
No.
at least charge
hours.
additional fees?
Yeah,
for it,
yeah, you know.
like, you guys are here for 2 hours. It's-
Get like a table beeper or something. Hey guys,
Yeah.
your 2 hours up.
Yeah,
You
trying
know.
to get out.
You're
or you
done.
know, keep it going and keep the money coming.
Oh yeah, man. You just tap on the thing, you know.
Have their card on file.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Keep
You
it
need,
on the
oh, you need
tab.
more wings? Yeah, don't worry. We'll send you some other thing.
Yeah, so you got the tab open.
But I think you know there should be spaces. You know, like you said, leisure,
Mhm.
like places to go and just.
It's 2025. Like
Yeah.
like
The question is it ends up being like when is it? What's the limit? Like where do you stop? Right? Like, do I think that everyone should be getting high all the time? Probably not.
Yeah.
So do
that's
we
pretty
need
good.
more spaces? Maybe not. I get it. You know, like there are times when I'm like, oh man, I smoked
definitely
and my
not the
day is
message,
gone or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I did nothing today.
Mhm.
But that, you know, that I spoke to king size. You know, it was a good Sunday. You know, but you know, I think that we should definitely find ways to get off of a lot of dependencies
Yeah,
for
it's
some of
like,
these things, right? Like I said,
have
we
a
work,
balance of
yeah,
both.
we
you
work
know?
hard.
Yeah,
Like I get
work
it.
hard, play hard.
Yeah. So, having hobbies and stuff that, force you to be active
Mhm.
will force you to not overconsume, I think is important, right? Like if you can't go to wrestling, maybe you will smoke as much that night or
Yeah,
whatever, or drink
exactly.
that much or
Yeah.
whatever it is. So I
Something to
think-
keep me in check, right? Something
Yeah.
to where it keeps me accountable. It's like I can't like overindulge in things because I got responsibilities
yeah,
and other
responsibilities.
commitments. Yeah.
I think people try to avoid responsibilities because that forces them to be responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like now I can't
if I
be
take on too many
indulgent
things.
and everything. I can't be hedonist. I think that's the thing is Western culture like not rooted, but is a big part of it like hedonistic.
Yeah,
I think it is in my opinion. But
yeah. I think people just were promoted to consume
yeah,
as a way of freedom. Right? It's like
Yeah.
your person. Oh yeah, freedom. You can do anything you want.
yeah, you can
Stay up
zoom.
late, get
Yeah.
drunk, smoke weed. But I think a lot of the things that your freedoms is the stuff that you don't do. Really. I could smoke this weed, but I'm not getting in front of these kids because it's not responsible.
Yeah,
Right.
you're exercising
You know?
that free will.
That's your free will
Yeah.
to do these things that you're,
Mhm.
by not doing these things,
Yeah.
right? Is really free will.
Yeah, because
it's like,
desire is at the end of the day, it's kind of like a cage. It's keeping
is.
you
Yeah.
like not dependent, but like it's dictating how you behave.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's, your habits dictate how you behave every day,
Yeah.
and, you don't want to be chasing your desires all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
You
else
know?
you're like kind of enslaved by them. Like that's why I feel like I'm doing my weight cutting right now to try to
Oh.
make weight. And it's like
Hard.
Yeah, and it's hard because I feel like for me, I really love indulging in like desserts and stuff, right?
Mm.
And I find that a lot of times I think of it as free will that I'm going to get this. This is for me exercising my free will, but no, this is me like exercising my desires that are
Yeah.
actually keeping a hold of me in a way.
Yeah, you're just allowing
Yeah,
yourself to indulge. It's hard to be, disciplined,
Yeah, it's really hard.
especially in multiple things.
Yeah,
It's like, it's getting to work or going to the gym every day is one thing. Eating well is another thing.
yeah,
Seeing your families and, being disciplined in how you respond to people is another thing. So just keeping this discipline throughout your day is hard. I think if you would get back to AI, I think that's what it's going to be really beneficial is being able to help you map out your day better and be on time.
yeah, and schedule things.
Schedule things more appropriately. I think that's what people are afraid of when it comes to AI. There's actually gonna be a tool that's helpful, and you're just not gonna use it because you actually have to commit to it. It's
Yeah.
like that diet plan that you don't follow,
Yeah.
those macros that you don't do, or
Yeah, it's like before you would have had to pay someone
Yeah.
a lot of money, and then you'd have to like go out and like think about it on a deeper level. Now, ChatGPT will just make it for you, right?
Well, when you pay somebody, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. That person is your motivation.
yeah, like that personal trainer. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, you could work out by yourself, but that personal trainer is also like like or their presence is just what's gonna.
Well,
help
you
be
paying them
consistent, yeah.
is what is a part of the transaction.
Yeah, because you paid.
You're like,
now
okay,
you
I
feel
paid, I need to
obligated,
go
right?
to my class.
Right. Yeah.
I just put
Right?
money down. Now I'm
You know?
obligated.
It's like in high school, you skip a class, you're like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Who cares? And then you go to university, you're like, I just skipped $100 class.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day I'm losing money.
Different weight. Yeah.
Every day I'm losing money. It's not even money I have. It's debt or whatever it
Yeah.
is, right? Like, I gotta get out somehow. And a C is not cutting it.
Exactly.
So
Because then you got to do grad school and they care about your grades, and it's like
you have to care, So, you definitely have to manage things better in your day, And I think the tools that are coming for us to manage them better, we have to, be open.
yeah. Whether it's like a Google Calendar or something, like
the
something simple like that. Yeah.
Yeah, little things. I don't have any Apple products, to be fair. So I'm gonna leave Steve Jobs and the whole gang over there, Tim Cook
Yeah.
alone. Buy Apple shares, guys. I don't.
Yeah.
I got more Apple shares than I got Apple products.
Yeah.
Believe me, guys.
You believe in the product that much, you know that they're killing it.
I get
so-
it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's important too when it comes to like your environment, you have to just admit stuff. Sometimes we live in a world where we just can't admit the truth of something. You're looking at it in the face and someone's like, that's cool, right? You're like, no.
Yeah, you're trying to be counterculture.
because
but sometimes.
Come on.
Just admit it.
Yeah. So there's some things that we just need to let it go and try to be involved in it to some degree, right?
You can make money off of it, right? Like whether you disagree with how cool Apple products are, you know that they're making money, so why not buy some shares? That kind of thing.
Well, it's ultimately your personal growth, right? So maybe you don't want to learn something, but it will help you in your business. You still go learn it.
Yeah.
It sucks. You still go do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's what it comes down to. It's like when you're looking at building yourself up, you have to do the hard stuff, and admitting something is beneficial is hard because you're like, I got to make a choice. Like, this thing is going to help me.
Yeah.
And I have to make this choice long term, So when you're, looking at stocks, I'm not sure if you guys have any stocks or anything like that, but when you're looking at these big mega companies that you want to buy, you just have to invest in them. Like, what are we avoiding?
Like,
really?
you might just like a game like Roblox, and be like, oh, it looks stupid, but it's like, that. Like, why does every kid playing or happens to be playing that game?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, you might want to buy some shares, because those kids are probably buying the microtransactions. They're making them good money, so why not capitalize on this dumb thing?
You look at it as I look at it from a space perspective. Like, what are they competing against? Who they're competing against? And how profitable are their competitors?
Yeah.
That's it. If they're beating their competitors, you got to invest in them.
Yeah, if they have all the market share.
Even if it's not all the market share, all they got to be is profitable in a sense where they're making their competitors work harder.
Yeah.
Right? They're leading in that area, that
leaders,
space. That's all you need, really.
Yeah.
Because some businesses, they don't have to generate or like lead to be profitable. There'll be companies that they make 15%. Some companies make 50%, like your NVIDIA or something, right? Like they may have less profit share over here, but their profit margins are bigger, and therefore they're a more profitable company.
Yeah, because they may happen to be selling very expensive products, or they might have a lot of how you would call it, because I find the stock market, it's not necessarily about pure fundamentals. It's about how do you call it, I'm gonna have a brain fart here. It's like potential is what it is. It's like a lot of the times a share might be really expensive because of the fact that it has a lot of potential. That's why it's.
Yeah, well, sometimes people push businesses up.
Yeah.
Because it's on an uptrend. It's like we all jump on it. Like what was that? GameStop.
Yeah,
something,
GameStop,
right?
Yeah, sometimes it's just trends,
It's trending. People are getting on it.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Shiba Inu or whatever. At some point.
Sometimes there's crypto pump and dump. Sometimes there's people trying to overthrow Wall Street.
Yeah.
Whatever bandwagon there is.
Yeah, I think what's crazy about the markets now is the fact that, because of crypto, people are looking for the best place to make money now, which I find fascinating. Because it used to be just like, oh, you're buying stocks. And then you get blocked out of it. If you're not an accredited investor, you can't get into the good stuff,
Yeah,
back in the
your
day.
average retail investor.
Yeah, average
was very
retail investor,
limited.
you only really had a couple of options to really buy. Now, there are a lot of spaces where you can make hundreds of % every year that are not crypto.
Yeah, you could just have a
is-
Wealth Simple account, which 20 years ago wasn't a thing.
Yeah, well, you could always own a margin account, which is pay taxes on it. But the TFSA in Canada, that's I hope we have it forever.
Yeah.
It's definitely a beneficial thing that everyone can use, because it allows you to get into the markets, cheap. Yeah, allows you to buy anything you want. So I would definitely invest in, index funds. Or, Apple or whatever the big companies are.
Yeah, I remember before you were telling me about the VFEs and that sort of thing.
Yeah, VFV, which is a Vanguard fund, And once you get in, then you'll start to learn.
Yeah.
Really, it takes time, it's experience, right? Like Warren Buffett's been doing it for 70 years or some fuckery. Like,
Yeah, time
it's
in
not
the
because he's
market.
great.
Yeah.
You
He's
know?
been long, he's
Well,
been
there's a
around long
saying,
enough.
right? It's like a time in the market beats timing the market kind of
Yeah,
thing.
you just gotta keep doing it, man. Like, how are you gonna bet against, America?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
Trump's
what I'm
out here
saying.
talking shit.
Yeah.
How you gonna bet against them? Like, come on, man. Whatever he's saying, talking about, just buy that for now, or whatever, right?
Well,
like,
it's funny because I remember we were working a crypto event in the summer at Rebel.
Okay.
And then this one guy is coming up to me just telling me, oh man, crypto's going to overthrow USD. I'm like, the USD is backed by the most powerful military in the world. I don't see how that is a plausible.
nah, USD's
thing,
gonna
you know?
buy a crypto.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep printing. How much is that?
Yeah, raise the debt ceiling a little bit more. Fuck. We'll get all the remaining shares.
Sick.
But on that note, man, I was
Yeah.
wondering,
Yeah.
because me and Dylan did talk. The reason why we wanted to have you on this
Yeah.
podcast is because we do believe that you're pretty, like, one of the wisest guys we've met in our company.
Nice.
And on that note, is there anything you'd like to say to viewers in terms of just advice you'd want to give?
Advice? I think, like I said, with the markets, VFV, and getting into the stocks, I think it's important to get into stocks in general. There's a lot of big businesses right now, lots of companies like Apple and Microsoft. Obviously, OpenAI is not public. Anduril is like a military company. Palantir, like all these businesses. Whether you believe in war, whether you believe in vaccines, whether you believe in the government, believe in your future.
Yeah. So you'd
Right,
say look
like-
at the current trends and then just try to capitalize off of that if you can.
I would say get into the markets,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
Like,
the markets.
because wherever you find your niche, whether it be in, trading options in the future, whether it's just buying stock, whether it's getting into Forex, whether it's, whatever it is, the markets are where you can generate the most long-term wealth. And whatever you're doing as a job, as a hobby or whatever, if you have a place to put money where it will benefit your future self, you should.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. Whether you pay to go to school, you pay to learn new skills. You should pay into your future. I think that's the thing that's given me the most wealth over time was the last decade investing in the markets and being able to become, instead of dependent on my checks, I'm more free to build my future self, and be healthier and work out more and just do more for myself because I'm not worried about whether my money is, going to be running out after
that money's giving
rent.
you time,
Yeah,
to do
so
the other
and
things that are
you
beneficial.
need flexibility. So definitely get into the markets, give yourself flexibility. Your future self will appreciate it, whether you don't appreciate it now. Your future self will love it. And this is like a crazy time in the markets with crypto. This shit is crazy. This is the only time you're gonna be able to live through this,
Right.
Like, I
What
don't
do, you,
know.
what do you think about these times that we're living in? Is like do you think this is the most
Buddy,
craziest times?
I'm just in my 40s. What I've seen already in my lifetime has, I'm surprised I'm sane. Like from no internet to the internet to AI to being in the
really
fucking
seen it.
Jetsons. Like, I don't know where we're going next.
And it's funny
Along
because,
for the ride.
yeah, what
Yeah,
we
man.
call this show is The World is Cooked. And
World
I
is
guess
cooked.
on that note, we've established the world is cooked.